Hi, welcome to clickmyproject.com. Now we have to see the process of mining positive and negative weighted association rules in medical records without user-specified weights based on its model. Here we are going to see the abstract of our process. To address the problem of weighted association rule mining is to assign weights to items. Association rules are a method for discovering interesting relations between variables in large databases. To propose a self-assigned weights technique for assigning weights to items instead of assigning weights by users. Adverse drug events is injuries due to medical action management rather than the underlying condition of the patient. The objective of our process is to automatically detect cases of ADEs by means of data mining, which are a set of statistical methods particularly suitable for the discovery of rules in large datasets. Here, we using supervised rule injection methods are used to discover AD injection rules. The rules are then filtered, validated, and reorganized by the AD injection records. The rules are described in a rule repository, and several statistics are automatically computed in every medical department, such as support and confidence value. In this project, we proposed a self-assigned weights using HITS methods to discover positive and negative association rules instead of assigning the weights by users. To avoid mining misleading and uninteresting rules, a new type parameter called saw interest is proposed to eliminate the redundant rules. Here is the DFT of our process. First, the data set are successfully loaded into the database. After successfully loaded into the database, we have to retrieve the data for classification. Then move to the apply association rules. In apply association rules, we have to consider the two methods, AD detection rules and AD prevention rules. In AD detection rules, we have to detect the ADE validated records in the dataset. In ADE prevention, the normal conditions and possible ADE conditions are validated in the rules. Then moves to the automatically discovering ADEs. Based on the two rules, which are the records are validated by the ADE detection records. So the rules are identified in the automatically discovering ADEs. Then moves to the weighted association rule mining. In weighted association rule mining, we have to assign self-assigned weights to the each and every records, ACE validated records in that dataset. So we have to calculate the distinct records, which are the records are occurred frequently in the dataset. So we have to calculate the self-assigned weights for each and every dataset. Based on the weight calculation, we have to mine positive in association rules and negative association rules. The rules is classified based on the saw interest parameter. The saw interest parameters considers a minimum support and confidence value, so that we have to calculate the support and confidence value. Based on that value, we have to identify the positive association rules and also negative association rules. After mining the positive and negative association rules, if any rules are occurred in redundant means, we have to eliminate the redundant rules based on the positive and negative association rules. So we have to move the eliminate redundant association rules. Here is the demo of our process. By clicking browse button, we have to select the dataset used in our process. Here the dataset is medical dataset. So by clicking load dataset, the datasets are successfully loaded into the database. Then moves to the next process. Here by clicking view process, the original datasets are successfully viewed. Then moves to the next process. Here irradiation records. Here we have to select the patient ID details, so that we have to, by clicking AD detection, we have to display the diagnosed dose and how many days of stayed in that patient. So by clicking AD detection records, the patient D15, the diagnosis pin of the dose IN 123, stay 5. So the AD detection records is no. And also identify patient ID means here the diagnosis is acute cholestasis, dose 113, 37 days of stayed in that patient. So we have to calculate the AD detection record. Is this possible ADE? Then moves to the next process. Here the medical records, the selected medical records details, patient details are displayed in the records. Then move to the outpatient records. In outpatient records, we have to select the month 1 and month 2 display details or patient details in the month 1. So in month 1, 10 records are available for the AD possible records. So we go to the 10 records. We have to calculate the possible ADs and normal possible ADs, means we have to find out that enter the query. Here we have to find out possible AD. So by clicking here, the records are extracted from the possible ADA details which patients are leveled in the possible ADA details are displayed. Then move to next process. Here we are going to the weight calculation. Self-assigned weights are calculation by means of this process. Here we have to display the ID, T-shirt and main diagnosis, overdose and AD validation record. So that by clicking count button, that how many transactions are the repeated in the transaction index are counted. So here the disease main diagnosis such as disease are occurred in 4 times, and also the each and every disease are counted for calculating the self-assigned weights, so that distinct values are also identified. By clicking process button, we have to apply the hit model. We have to calculate the self-assigned weights for each and every distinct values in the records. So the self-assigned weights are calculated successfully. Then view, by clicking view process, the self-assigned weights are calculated for the main diagnosis, so the weighted values are displayed. Here the acute cholestasis occurred in 18 times, so the weighted value is high. So the weighted values are arranged in a descending order. Which items has a high weighted value, it is denoted in higher order. Then the other process is denoted in descending order. Then moves to the next process. Here we have to calculate the association binding rules for the self-assigned weights of the records. Here by clicking positive rules, the positive rules are extracted based on the self-assigned weights, and also the positive and negative rules are mined based on the saw interest parameter. The saw interest parameter is to calculate based on minimum support and confidence value. Based on the support and confidence value, which values are associated in the positive rules, means these are the values are in the positive association rule binding. So the positive association rules, these are the attributes are classified in the positive association rule binding based on the weighted value and on the support and confidence value. Then moves to the next process. Here in the negative rules, this process also considers the same thing for the positive association rules. These are the rules are classified in the negative rules, means these are the list or contained in the negative association rules. So that these are the attributes are classified as the negative association rule binding based on support and confidence value. Which value has the high confidence, and these are classified in the process. Then moves to the eliminate redundant records. By clicking redundant records for the positive rules, means which of the records are repeated again and again based on in positive rules are classified, so that these records are repeated for the positive rules, so that the redundancy are eliminated by using the eliminate redundant records method, so that available eliminating redundant records are displayed. So we have to classify easily. These are the patient's IDs, this noted the weighted value, this the kidney abscess. So 2 patients are classified in the kidney abscess disease, so that we have to easily identify the original records details. Then moves to the next process. Here also the element redundant rules for negative rules also. So the redundant negative rules are displayed, classified. Then click the original records. So the redundant records are eliminated, and all the original records are shown in the process. Thank you.